Good morning from Skydive Nagambie down in Australia, where the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships are taking place. We are going to bring all the action to you guys as it's happening. Today, it's a bit cloudy, not much going on. It is officially a registration day. The competitors will be registering. Some of the competitors arrived yesterday and they're actually doing their practice jumps. We're going to bring you all the action, we're going to bring you all the energy, all the competition jumps, so stay tuned with Skydive TV.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
It's like any other nationals throughout the world. This is an on year for us, so it's a selection year, and we've got the best Australian skydivers out here looking for a spot in the Australian team.
So every association around the world has a different method of selecting the teams and actually providing for them. Tell us about how the Australian Parachute Federation is doing it.
The winners of the national champions will be invited to come and be a part of the Australian team. We also have criteria based on averages throughout the year or throughout the world. So if the national champions are invited onto the team, then the Australian Parachute Federation, we have performance-based funding, so we can supply them with some funding to help them train and get to the Worlds in Chicago.
You mentioned performance-based funding. Tell us a little bit about that. We'd like to understand.
Yeah, that's so with investments that the Federation have, we have a certain percentage that we can give to the Australian team, and that's to pay for coaching and training jumps and all that sort of thing. So based on their average, depending on the tier of funding they might get. So we have level 1 funding, level 2 funding and level 3 funding. So level 3 funding, for example, if you've got a medal in the last 2 years in the Worlds, then you'll get level 3 funding.
Wow, and does that cover their jumps, their travel as well?
Level 3 does. It covers their coach, it covers their training jumps, pretty much anything they would need to get to the World Comp. Level 1, for example, that's substantially less, but still a good hit of money, and that will go towards just jumps only.
Very interesting. Is APF any federally funded, government funded?
There are grants out there. We do get grants, and mostly the regional councils, they will get funding for their athletes through the state governments rather than the federal government. The federal government, we did have a partnership with the Australian Institute of Sport, but as we all know, they're Olympic focused these days, so skydiving doesn't really get that much of a look in these days, but we're trying to change that.
Well, anything that you would like to tell the competitors?
Good luck, skydive your best, and see you in Chicago.
If you guys want to communicate with Skydive TV and the Australian Parachute Federation and you have any questions, you can do so by using social media. Utilize hashtag Skydive TV to come to Skydive TV and hashtag Get Into Skydiving to get in touch with the Australian Parachute Federation, or send them an email directly through the Facebook or Twitter. We are with Gail Bradley. She's the chief judge of this event and also head of judges in Australia. Hello, Gail. How are you?
Hello, Sammy. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Here we are at Nagambie.
Nagambie, Victoria,
yes.
Australia.
And we got a little bit of clouds going on today, but tell us about the judging stuff. How are you guys preparing for the event?
Well, this is the biggest judging contingent we have ever had at a Nationals. In that room at the moment doing some training, which we're doing for 2 days, I have 12 judges and 6 trainees plus an IT technician. So we're going to have 18 or 19 people working in that room. We're judging 5 disciplines and about 14 or 15 events in that time. So we are really excited. Yeah. One, about the volume of work, but also to have all of those events and disciplines in one place, one time, and have judges from all states of Australia coming here to judge. This is really exciting for us, Sammy.
This is great. Do you have any new judges on your training? At
I
the center?
do. I have 2 of my trainees have already got ratings in wingsuiting and in accuracy. So we're planning to rate some of our trainees at least in accuracy while we're here, and they've been studying for formation skydiving at the same time. So we wish them luck and hope that they get through. It's a tough exam, Sammy.
You're using in time for this competition.
We are.
Is everything set up? Is everything ready? Everybody prepped?
We are so completely happy with In Time. You know, we've been using it in Australia for the last 4 or 5 years. Because we are a large country with people all over, like thousands of kilometres apart, every state has its own In Time system, and the APF has one as well. So what we're doing at the moment, I've had every state bring their In Time machines here. So I've got about 15 In Time computers in there. We're creating one network where everything feeds off the same database, and that means in future that in the different states that we go to judge, we don't have to take our own computer with us. We can walk in. So I can fly to Queensland, for example, from Victoria, and know that their system is an exact copy of my own. And we're doing that at this Nationals too, so it's a big technical upgrade for us at the same time. But we love In Time. It's just so easy to use.
There we go. Well, you hear from the chief judge of this event. Things are getting ready. The judges are getting prepared for all of the action, which we are going to bring to you. Stay tuned. You're watching Skydive TV.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
The schedule is so that every day the competition will begin with accuracy due to the weather conditions. The weather conditions are best in the morning, so we'll start at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. every day of the week throughout the competition with an accuracy going into free fall skydiving disciplines. And here is the schedule of the event. Here is Mr. Graham Windsor coming, an Australian legend and a competitor, former president of the IPC. Graham, how are you, sir?
Oh, not too bad, thanks, Sammy. How are you?
Here we are in Australia. Fantastic day. How was the jump this morning?
Yeah, it was good. Blew a few cobwebs out, and yeah, it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. The wind's a bit tricky.
That's right. Yes, it's a practice jump for you.
Yes.
Yeah. So today's a registration day. How many practice jumps are you thinking about making?
Well, I hadn't actually thought it that much. I thought I'll just come here and do a few practice jumps, get myself back into shape, and be ready for tomorrow.
How many years have you competed, Graham?
Well, I was wondering that just before I got here. I had a T-shirt from the 1971 Nationals, and that was my first one. And I missed a few at the end of the 80s, so I've been to most of them since then. It'd be over 40.
The registration for the accuracy event is complete, and the accuracy competitors and judges are going through their briefing. We have a total of 8 competitors in the accuracy competition event. I saw the judges were in a briefing room earlier today, getting all the briefing, all the equipment getting polished up. How is everything coming along so far?
Really great. Facilities here are fantastic. and all the equipment's been supplied by the APF is all here, all set up, all ready to go. Everything is great.
So we are kicking the event tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock.
We certainly are. If the weather's good, we'll be going.
And I also heard that there isn't going to be a team accuracy event this year. Can you tell us a little more about that?
Jock, do you want to handle that one?
Yeah, there are some rules in the regulations that say that if it's a team event and we have two people interfere with one another, or if the AMD is not reset, then they have to zap them. They get 16 centimetres. As it's an on-year and we've got to pick for a national team, we feel that it's probably better, but we've got to put it to the competitors and see what they say.
So there would be a team accuracy, but it will be selected from individual competitors.
Yeah, for the national team. But we don't want to eliminate a single competitor from making the team because somebody else hasn't reset the AMD in time for him to land.
How did the competitors reacted when they actually heard about this?
We haven't told them yet. We're about
you
to tell them.
haven't? The energy here at Skydive Nagambie is absolutely fantastic. Competitors are already arriving in massive numbers. As you can see, the hangar is filling tremendously with all the competitors. The energy is absolutely phenomenal. Everybody's got the competition spirit and is ready for a fantastic competition. We want to bring that competition on to you guys as it develops, as it starts happening first thing tomorrow morning. Until then, my name is Samuel Vasiliev and you're watching Skydive TV. Stay tuned.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
So this year you are at the Nationals. It's an on year for the championships.
It is an on year for the World Meet, yeah.
Are you ready?
As ready as can be.
Yep.
We're a bit sick, pain back, but we're okay. We're gonna make it. It's gonna be fine.
How many practice jumps did you guys do before you came here this year?
Not that many.
Not that many.
Not that many. We did actually 5 jumps this year. We got a bit of a slow time and other stuff on. So, but sometimes a good break make you better.
So this year, from what I understand, there is only 2 teams
Yes.
that are showing up for the Nationals.
Yes.
And both of these teams could actually qualify to go to the Mondial.
For the Mondial, we can they can take 2 teams in freestyle or free fly, so we can both go if we want to go. We'll have to talk with the RPF afterwards to see who they want to bring, but we could both qualify.
So either gold or silver, you're going.
Yes, either gold or silver, we're going.
Well, that's a good position to be into, I guess.
Yeah, it's very comfy.
Yeah.
Very comfy.
How competitive is the other team comparing to you guys, and how experienced they are?
It's the first time competing in freestyle, but they are tunnel goats. So they've got millions of hours of tunnels. We've never done tunnels, so it's going to be very funny to see the different level with the different experience. So I think they might beat us. I reckon they will.
You think?
Yeah.
We're coaching them, so.
Yeah,
you're
helping.
coaching them.
so
Oh,
it
so
should
you're
beat us there.
you're coaching young competitor.
Yes, we are.
That's quite interesting. We'll follow that. Make sure that how it develops. But does it make you a little bit nervous knowing that these guys are ton of rats and they
No,
have?
not nervous. I just can't wait to see what they can do. Hoping they're doing something amazing, and then they can go to the World Meet and beat the French.
A French saying beat the French.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
exactly. The Frenchies are winning everywhere in the World Meet, so we need some Aussies to go and kick their ass.
Well, good luck, guys. We'll keep in touch with you throughout the competition, and we'll see
you
how you
very
guys do.
Cool.
All right, have a good one. Yeah, that's it. We have Team Impulse, who is the defending champion from last year's intermediate event. Hi guys!
How are you going?
2016, anything changed since last year?
Well, slightly new lineup, welcoming Rob to the team, but same old, round we go.
Are you guys competing in the same class or you moved up?
No, we've moved up. So since last year we've been to the World Cup over in Holland.
on the back of the success last year, and then now moving into the open competition in Australia. So looking forward to it.
So as a new, you're rookies this year in the open class. How much of a pressure is that for you guys?
Well, we did a lot of prep for the World Cup, so they gave us really good prep coming into this comp. So we spent a lot of time in the tunnel and the drop zone. So not feeling, probably not as much pressure as doing the intermediate comp. Actually, looking forward to having some fun with the other teams.
Who's the biggest competition in the open class this year?
Oh, there's lots of good teams there. So we're going to probably look after our own deal and do our best, and hopefully it'll place somewhere good.
You plan to give everybody a run for their money?
Yeah, it'd be nice too.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah.
Any strategy that you might want to reveal before the competition, so we say, hey, these guys said what they're going to do and they did it?
For me, it's just stay calm, focused, and not make any mistakes.
I hear the plane is about to start, so here we are, Team Impulse from last year's intermediate champions competing in the open division this year, hopefully to go to Chicago in 2016's Mondial. Good luck, guys.
Thanks. Awesome. Thank you.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
Rotorad, how are you guys? The last year's champions? Yes. We are with Rotorad. This is the Australian champions of 2015. They're also a record holders competing for the gold this year as well, hopefully to represent Australia in the 2016 Mondial. Is that right, guys?
That's correct.
Yeah.
How long has the team been together?
Well, this is a new lineup since 2015. So Steve and I are new, and these are the old boys.
These are the old boys. Well, here we go. Let's start with the wise boys.
Okay.
Yeah. So tell me about Rotorad, guys.
Rotorad has been together for a number of years, been the Australian National Championships for a number of years, but it's gone through a number of lineup changes. I think this particular lineup has got a lot of energy, a bit new blood, and we're looking forward to putting some scores on the board. So if we get a fast jump in this particular competition, we're looking forward to breaking the record.
That's right. And how many points do you guys do?
It's 29.
29 points.
Yeah.
Wow. So this year is a critical year. Who is your competitor?
There's a number of teams competing. We've got an all-women's team which has been training hard as well. We've got a couple of other teams, Australian teams. We've also got a New Zealand team that's going to be competing against us. So there's a bit of rivalry there as well.
But a New Zealand team, are they a guest team or are they medal in Australian Nationals?
Guest, I'm assuming, but it's all part of the fun. It's still competition pressure.
So you're the star of this competition because you entered last year with 100 jumps, right?
Correct, yeah, I did my 100th jump mid-comp last year.
Mid-competition, well, congratulations.
Thank
you. So here you are in 2016 competing in four-way.
Yep.
And your team is actually in a very good position to be a leader.
Look, we've done a lot of training this year. We went in last year and we only had 7 jumps as a team last year. So this past year we've gone and done a lot of tunnel, a lot of jumps and done what we can. So hopefully that pays off and we'll see what happens over the weekend.
So last year you did 100 jump during a competition. Mm-hmm. What is the jump number today?
303 today.
303, that's 203 jumps extra than what you had last year.
Yes.
How do you feel about your skills? How do you feel about the spirit of the competition today versus what it was last year?
Oh, it's a totally different feeling. Last year I had no idea about competition at all. Like I didn't even think competing was a possibility for me. So this year, last year nerves got to us as well. We didn't know what we were doing. This year we're a little bit more prepared. We've done the training and it feels really good actually.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
And the 2016 Australian Skydiving Nationals is now open. We are going to bring you all the action, all the excitement from the best competitors in Australia. And that will be on Skydive TV. Stay tuned. Good luck to all the competitors. We'll see you in the air.
Fisher Space Pen is an American manufacturer. We make pens so tough and reliable that they're used on Arctic expeditions and used on every manned space flight since Apollo 7. Even though we distribute Fisher Pen all over the world, we're still a small, localized, family-oriented business.
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
The first load of the competition is about to take off. The accuracy jumpers are loading the Cessna 182 and they are about to open this competition and make it official. We'll bring you all the action and all the excitement. Stay tuned on Skydive TV.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
So everyone is around the tuffet, anxiously waiting for the very first competitors to land and see how they're gonna be scored. Actually, some of the competitors are geared up, full of excitement, ready right here to see what's going on. So tell us what's happening.
At the moment, they're probably going to throw a drifter, which actually tells them what the upper winds are doing, and they'll watch where that lands, and then I'll get out of the aircraft accordingly, so they can use the wind to come back here in the right way.
So we noticed the wind drift indicator went all the way about 1,200 feet to the north. Where would you be exiting today?
Well, I'll be getting out down there, over those tents, probably about 2 or 3 times that.
Yes, any strategy you have so far?
Yeah, land on the target.
And the first competitor has landed. This competition is officially open. There are 8 registered competitors in the accuracy competition, and here are their names. And here is today's schedule. We're with Graham Windsor after round 1 of the competition. Graham, how did you do?
Well, not the most auspicious start, I have to say. It's a long fight back from where I am now. I actually missed the target by more than 16 centimetres.
So for the record and for the competition purposes, that would be a 16 centimetre?
That's exactly right. 16 centimetres is my score. So I was hoping to sort of, you know, do about that for the total 10 rounds. So.
Round one is over. We are about to show the results in a moment, but meanwhile, I see here a lot of heavy breathing here. How was that round one for you?
Very nervous. First round of a comp, I'm always very nervous. My hands are still shaking.
I can see that. I mean, what makes you so nervous? Why are you so excited about it?
It's a bit like golf. You can lose the game on the first round. You can do a bad score on the first round, it's all over. You do a good one, well then you're still in the race, you know.
That's right. How did you do on this one?
I got 1 centimetre.
The competitors are going for round two of the accuracy competition. We're going to bring you that action as well. Meanwhile, we have 4 registered 8-weight teams, and that competition will begin at 9 o'clock today. So stay tuned to Skydive TV. So competition round two, guys.
Round two. In my case, the pad didn't work. So that's a bit unfortunate because it was a reasonably good score, so I got to go up and try it again.
So that was a technical issue?
Yes.
Fantastic. And why are you re-jumping?
A bit of safety issue.
What happened to you?
A bit too close to the other canopy on exits.
I see. Well, and was that because you exited early, or was it because the fellow behind you exited too soon?
A bit of both.
Bit of both? So you're doing for jump one?
Jump one.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
The wind's picked up a little bit up there, but you know, conditions are conditions. I'm just happy to have a bit more of a competitive re-jump and same score, but much happier. Hit the tuffet just off centre.
Great. Moving on to round two.
Round two, pack and go.
So how was the re-jump for you?
I was very unhappy.
Why is that?
Well, because I didn't do as well as I did on my first jump when the pad didn't score me.
And there's no going back on that one?
And there's no going back. I got no choice.
I noticed...
That's the luck of the draw.
Yes, I noticed the wind shifted a little bit since this morning, so obviously that's an effect in the performance.
Look, it happens every now and again, and you know, it's just a bit of luck. If it actually gusts and swirls around and you're a lightweight like me, you get affected by it.
Yeah. And here are the teams in the 8-weight competition. Here we go. This is team checkmate. First round of the competition just finished. How did it go?
Oh, we went really well. We kicked butt. We went really well. We're really pleased with our performance. We managed to get that exit, and I think we did those donuts really nicely, and we're really happy. Yeah, nice to start the competition with a nice jump.
We saw a lot of high fives. You know, obviously that was a good thing. So how was the exit on this one?
The exit was a bit windy, a bit hairy, but she came off nice and clean when we got out the door, and luckily Alex didn't topple over there, but yeah, we all held on strong and kept it going down the hill and got to that first point nice and quick.
Let's ask Alex real quick. Alex, what happened on this one, buddy?
Oh man, just came out and all I could see was just, yeah, it's head down.
Head down.
Whole way, yeah, it's steep as, and yeah, held it and went well. So.
Ready for round two?
Yeah, let's move on.
Well, you guys go kick some ass. We'll be right back.
Yeah, all right. Thanks.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
We are with Team Innuendo, current leaders in the open division of 8-way. Hi Simon, how are you?
I'm very well, thanks.
So the team's been around for 3 years from what I understand since the World Meet. How did you guys get together?
I chased a few guys up and said let's do some 8-ways and yeah, try and pick the best people to do the job. Yeah.
8-way is a difficult discipline to keep teams together.
You said the word right. That discipline is actually the thing that rates high in 8-way. Yeah.
Only 2 8-way teams are actually competing this year.
That's because it is actually a harder discipline to actually get together and also to achieve goals. And what I've been doing lately is just going around the country and developing 8-way skills for people to start doing more 8-way in Australia.
You know, I'm just feeling I just try as fast as I can and see what happens.
See what happens. You want to fly as fast as you can and see what happens.
Exactly.
Well, I have a bad feeling about that. So, what do you think?
I'm just making sure I don't hit the plane when I exit. So, yeah, wow. had a couple of incidents training, so but working it all out for this comp. So.
We are with Straight Down. They're going for round 3. Currently, the judge jumps are actually only the first round and they're with 3 points. We're about to find out what they did on round 2, but we'll let them tell us about it. Attila, how did you guys do on round 2?
The jump was good. The exit is something we have to work on. It's a scratch team, so first jump was round 1, and we went for a second jump as well. Have to work the exit, otherwise the jump is good. It feels good.
You have to work the exit. What happened on the exit?
I think it was just a little bit of where our position was in the door and so on, and unfortunately we lost 2 people. We didn't get out very quickly after that, so there was a lot of separation for us to cover, but when we got back together we flew really well. So now that exit and we should have a good jump.
How fast did you guys recover? How much time did you recover?
So we lost 19 seconds.
19 seconds.
Yep, built the first point after 19 seconds. That's 40% of the skydive gone. And as Attila said, after that we recovered really well and had a nice clean skydive until the end, really.
Okay. So we haven't really seen the scores yet. We're about to see them, but what was the draw for round 2?
I have no idea.
But you skydive. Were you the one they were waiting on?
No. I was inside the door, and we were stacking up, and I saw one of the 2 people go, and by the time I looked back to everyone else, we were already leaving the plane. So yeah, it was a bit of a scramble to get there.
Beautiful day for skydiving. Another great jump.
Oh, it went great. We're back in our groove. I mean, it took us a couple of jumps, and we did a good job in round 1 and 2. But round 3 was a burner. You know, it looks really good. Everybody's really happy. We're just ready to go. It's too bad we only got 7 rounds left.
So you guys retuned, reconnected, and round 3 was a success.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Any different strategies that you guys did on this one?
Oh, we tweaked a couple of things on the exit, but everything just concentrated and kind of worked it out in the dirt dive. So.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Here are the VFS teams in the 2016 Australian Skydiving National Championships. Here we are with Team Focus VFS Open Division Round 1. How did it go, guys?
Not too bad. Good way to start the day. Yeah, it was pretty smooth at the start, and then we started to speed up towards the end, so we'll see how it looks. Hopefully Dan did a good job like usual, got it all on the video for us, so yeah, we'll see how we go.
That's right. So jitters are off after the first round, or pressure still on?
The pressure's still on a little bit, but it's always good to get the first one out of the way, get in the zone. Started out a little slow, but I think we'll be all good.
Fantastic. So who's the biggest competitor that you guys need to beat so that you can go to the Mondial 2016?
Well, we're going to go there anyway because we're the only team, unfortunately, in Open. But yeah, we're racing ourselves and racing the clock, and we just want to get good scores on the board to boost up that average.
We're with Team Full Tilt, and with all due respect, this is not full tilt poker. This is full tilt skydiving, jumping out of a plane as is. So hi guys, how are you?
Yeah, we're good, thanks.
So you're competing in artistic events?
Yeah, we are. We're just about to go for our third round now.
And first two rounds haven't been scored. How do you think you're doing so far?
We feel like we put in pretty good rounds, really good rounds actually for our first compulsory and our first free routine. But until we see the scores, we really have no idea what we're going to get scored because this is our first competition.
Best jump ever?
That was definitely one of our better jumps. Definitely feeling it on that one. Pretty happy, yeah.
Was that a compulsory or was that a free round?
That was our free round. Round 2 is our compulsory. We haven't seen the scores for that one yet, but after round 1, we're beating Mason Corby.
Oh yeah, and that's interesting. So what's in the goodie bag for round 4?
Another free round.
Another free round, so
Yeah.
just having fun, let go, and
Yeah.
do loop and turn and big smile, and that's all it is.
And go to the world meet.
Going to the world meet.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
We're competing in a two-way artistic wingsuit team, so it's my teammate Isaac and I. So we're going to do basically two-way formation, flying, taking docks, flips, barrel rolls, back flying, you name it. But we've got to make it look good, and he's the man that's got to get it for us.
Yeah, but he's not a sassy red, he's a sassy yellow.
Yes, I'm a sassy yellow because all I have to do is film them on this camera and make sure I get the shot.
That's it.
That's all I have to do.
That's an easy responsibility, huh?
It's easy.
So how did you guys get the name?
Well, we have this mutual TV show that we watch called The Big Lace Show. You can find it on YouTube, and the character that we base it off is Sassy the Sasquatch. So that's where we got Sassy, and we both love red wingsuits. Yeah.
Day 1 of competition is halfway over. Here are the results at this moment. We are in the judging room. This is where every competition skydive is judged. Once it is ingested in the hangar, all the video footage is transferred over into this room where it's reviewed and judged, and a final score is given. So let's introduce you to the judges. Hello, judges! Hi! There we go. Gail here, she is the chief judge. She is the boss in this room. Hi, Gail.
Hi, Sammy. How are you?
I'm fine. So
Good.
competition day number 1. How are things going?
Really well, Sammy. We're getting 6 different disciplines being looked at the moment. The panel's working really well. The loads are going well. The technology's fantastic, and we're in a very happy space.
We are with the CEO of the Australian Parachute Federation, Brad Turner. Hello, Brad. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Sammy. Yeah. How about yourself?
Fantastic, fantastic day, beautiful day here at Skydive Nagambie. The nationals are going. How difficult was it to put this event together?
Oh, look, it's always difficult to putting nationals together, especially as the number of disciplines grow every year. But look, the guys here have done a fantastic job. It's a purpose-built drop zone, and they've got all the facilities, as you can see behind me here. We've got the aircraft, and most of all, we've got the competitors. So, what more can you ask for? Plus, beautiful blue skies.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain today, but the weatherman was wrong.
It's Victoria.
Well, Australian Parachute Federation is having a very interesting approach towards skydiving today, and as you and I discussed yesterday, branding skydiving. Can you expand into and tell us a little bit about how about that approach?
We're embarking on quite a number of campaigns to lift the image of skydiving in Australia as a sport. So we want it to be on everybody's tongues when they're thinking about an activity to do, like tennis, soccer, skateboarding. We want them to think about skydiving, and not just for tandem skydiving. That industry in Australia is growing enormously. It's got its own legs and running. But we're more interested in getting people in doing first jump courses, getting them through to an A licence, and then opening up the world of skydiving to them, and hopefully more competitors.
This year is an on year for Australia, and this particular competition is a selection year for the national team. What is APF doing to prepare for the upcoming Mondial?
Well, we've got some substantial funds set aside to fund our teams to go to the Nationals. We also had a request from Michael Vaughan, and $100,000 was left to the team, which is just fantastic. Plus the resources, financial and human resources that the APF itself is putting towards helping our teams achieve their best, their personal best, and get them best prepared them to go to the World Championships in Chicago.
What a fantastic day 1 at the 2016 Australian Skydiving Championships here at Skydive Nagambie. The day is over, a lot of competition, a lot of nice and very enthusiastic people, and very great energy at this drop zone. This is the end of a fantastic day. Tomorrow we continue 7 o'clock in the morning with accuracy, and we're going to bring all that excitement to you. My name is Sammy Vasiliev, you're watching Skydive TV. Stay tuned.
Fisher Space Pen is an American manufacturer. We make pens so tough and reliable that they're used on Arctic expeditions and used on every manned space flight since Apollo 7. Even though we distribute Fisher Pen all over the world, we're still a small, localized, family-oriented business.
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
Beautiful day here at Skydive Nagambie, phenomenal morning, day 2 of the competition. The accuracy is underway, round 3 is actually up and some of the competitors are about to land. Stay tuned and watch all the action.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
How was it this morning, Janine?
It was a tough gig this morning. There's a lot of wind up high and it doesn't cut out until really, really low, like really low.
We were watching the canopies and, you know, some of us actually thought you guys weren't going to make it back because it was blowing so hard. How did you feel up there?
I just felt like I was just going to hang in over the road and see if I got back to the pad. So yeah, it was nice to land.
I thought I was going to be a little bit better on the target, but look, just hitting the pad in this competition this weekend is going to be the main thing. So I got a 5. Yeah, well, it would have been better if it was lower than that, but hey, it could have been a 16, it could have been a lot worse. But conditions up there are really tricky. Yesterday they were tricky, but the wind is coming down, and that's where all the problems are going to happen. Up at 500 feet I was going backwards and I didn't think I was going to make the pad, so you get past that scare element and then you sit back and relax, because you don't want to be sitting too far outside and landing miles away. I mean, this is precision accuracy. We land on a 5-cent piece, you know, so that's what we aim to do. We don't want to be landing over there, but half the work is actually flying your canopy and getting it to the right spot. So
we are with Jock. He's one of the event judges. How is he going, Jock? Good morning.
Going pretty good at the moment. Weather's fine and the winds are low, so perfect.
Interesting winds this morning?
Yeah, the winds aloft are pretty tricky.
So as far as the competition is going, any technicalities, anything that is the re-jumps?
We've had a couple of re-jumps. We had the pad malfunction once, but we had the same trouble at Banjaluka, so we know what that was.
Yes. And score-wise, who's leading the pack so far?
Don's winning. We had a tie up until this morning with Don and Janine, but Don pulled out a 1 this morning, so he's just snuck ahead of Janine.
Yeah, well, it's a bit early in the competition. It's still round 3. Yeah. We got, you know, 7 more
rounds to go.
And you never know in accuracy.
No.
Yes, absolutely.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
The weather has been a little bit dodgy today. It was very nice and beautiful this morning, and then we had these clouds that came right in and we were on a weather hold for a while. The competition has resumed and the 8-way is about to go on to round 9. We are with Janine and Mike who are competing in the accuracy as well. So how does it differ and how difficult is it to compete in accuracy and then come and do 8-way?
They're completely different disciplines, but the same things are important. You need to focus, you need to have a game plan, and you need to know where you're supposed to be.
Focus is the main thing, concentrate at all times, as in most in sports. The difficulty is just rushing from one competition to another. So fitting it all in, you get a little bit tired.
Yeah. Is that rush affecting your performance in any way?
Oh no, but I don't think it's. We're conscious that we're part of an 8-way team, so we're conscious that it might be holding up the other team members. So we're concerned about that. But yep, you just go from one to the other.
And here are the current standings in the 8-way competition.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
We are with Sheena. She is the events judge for wingsuit acrobatic. How it's judged, what do you look for when the performers are doing their acrobatics?
Yes, there are 2 types of rounds. There are some compulsory maneuvers in 4 rounds, and 3 free rounds where the competitors can do whatever they like. And it's judged on the flow and the performance, and also on the camera work. The camera is very important. They have to be creative as well as the performers. In the compulsory rounds, they do 2 different maneuvers on each round. One, they vary from doing a loop to going over and under each other and around. There are actually 11 different maneuvers that are called upon during the event.
Okay.
So they're drawn at random. And so there's one where they do a front loop, and then between each maneuver they have to grip there are 2 performers, they have to perform a link. So in a way it's a bit of a combination of FS and artistic. So the points are counted in the compulsory rounds as well as being scored for the camera work and the performance, the style of the performance.
So a team is actually 3 people. We have 2 performers on camera and a cameraman to capture what they do.
Yes, that's right.
Is there judging for the cameraman?
Yes, it's very important because the judge, he must not only keep his performers in focus, he must also demonstrate that their grips are clear, and also he'll give extra points for manoeuvres like carving around them, flying underneath on his back to look at them better, and so there's extra points given for the creativity of the camera work.
You're leading quite a bit against the other team.
No, we've just been trying some harder moves and they've been working out. So we've tried a few that were a little bit too hard, but it's sort of paying off what the jumps that we're doing at the moment. So, but yeah, I think we both train about the same, and but maybe we've been training a little bit longer than the other guys. So
I see.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are so far ahead that even that last round that you're doing probably wouldn't make much of a difference.
Yep.
Are you taking it a little more relaxed, or are you taking it as serious as every other round?
At this stage, I want to take it relaxed, and my teammate wants to try something really, really difficult. Normally we just do one rotation, and then we might link up again. This time we're going to double all the moves. So when we do a barrel roll or a loop, we're going to do 2 or 3 at a time, and then the other flyer, it's a little bit more difficult for him to match the full rate, and then try and link it up, and just everything we're going to sort of double it up. So it'll either work or it won't work, but it's for us, this is a training session. Every jump is a training session.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
Here we are with the new Australian record holders in VFS Team Focus. How are you guys?
Yeah, good.
So how many points?
On that one?
Correct.
Well, I don't know, maybe about 15. Yeah, we'll see.
And that's on round 8.
That's on round 8. It hasn't been judged.
6,
yeah.
You actually did 15
we
points,
did 15.
which is judged.
Yeah, that's right.
Congratulations.
Thank
so
you.
you guys are officially new Australian record holders.
Yeah.
So in the open division, you're absolutely representing Australia at the World Championships in Chicago.
Yep.
Are you going to prepare differently for the next level?
Yeah, we've got a lot of hard training to do over the next few months, so yeah, probably a couple of little changes, but yeah, we'll stick at it and hopefully we can get a good result.
You know, you're going to be facing SDC Standard and some of these guys out there.
Yeah, I know.
They're going to be representing the United States. Is there any pressure around here?
Well, yeah, they help train us actually, so I hope they feel the pressure from us, huh?
That'll be good, but they're on their home turf.
They are indeed, yeah. So we've got a big, big job ahead of us, huh?
How many training jumps do you plan to do in the next few months before the Mondial?
Oh, I'd like to say a few hundred, but realistically, you know, 100 skydives would be good. If we can do more, even better. We'll definitely try and do as many as we can, but obviously we'll take what we can as well, you know.
There we go. You mentioned earlier that there might be another national record. Is that correct?
Well, maybe. We'll see how round 8 goes, yeah?
Hasn't been judged yet.
Hasn't been judged yet,
Well,
so
we'll
fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye on that one.
Yeah.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Hi Skydive TV, welcome to Nagambie, Australia.
The last round of the 8-way competition is boarding and they're about to take off. We're going to bring you the results shortly.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
The artistic events have completed all their rounds and here are the results. The registration for the four-way competition is complete. We have 9 teams have registered for the intermediate and 7 in the open division of the four-way competition, which starts tomorrow morning.
Stay tuned.
Fisher Space Pen is an American manufacturer. We make pens so tough and reliable that they're used on the Arctic expeditions and used on every manned space flight since Apollo 7. Even though we distribute Fisher Pen all over the world, we're still a small, localized, family-oriented business.
Fisher Space Pen. American dependability. This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
I want to say congratulations to the medal winners and also to Australian record breakers that happened today. So congratulations everyone. It's been a great couple of days of skydiving. Got a long way to go yet, so once again, stay safe out there.
Sassy Red, please come up. And young 2 will give Isaac. Oh, sorry. Leanne's giving Isaac, and Yen will be giving to Goran. gold medalists with 637.1 points are Ash Darby, Roger Hugelshofer and Robbie McEntee from Jetstream.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Silver medal goes to Full Tilt with point score 45.6 with Richie Conboy, Shay Conboy and Tom Serhowski on camera.
Tommy's first medal. Tommy's first medal.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
Sunny's off.
Matt Holmes, Stephen Baker, Callum Dempsey, flap the defence! Presented to them by the event judge, Jenny Plumridge.
You did it!
Okay, take photos now, please. These guys just deserve everything that they're going to get tonight. In here you'll find a signed copy from all of the judges for your new Australian record. So that's... Kieran James, Carl Chick, Nathan Smith, Scotty Hisco and Dan Smith. They are
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability. This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
Adam, Bogdan, Carlos, Catherine, Mervyn, Mike, Janine, Kyle and Phil. With an average of 1.3 and a total of 13 points, Octaviate. Roy, Tom, Alan, Keith, Nicole, Attila, Richie, Jan and Joey. Did I get it right?
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
John Rambo, how are you guys? And congratulations on the championships. You're going to the Mondial in 2016, right?
Yeah, thank you. It was a very close competition. It was hotly contested and just a lot of time and effort went into getting us across the line.
There we go.
Full credit to the competition. It was a very tough competition.
How did you guys get here? How many training jumps did you do? What did you have to do to get yourself ready?
Man, we've been jumping in California, we've been jumping in Dubai, we've been jumping in Byron Bay, so yeah, we've done probably 350 jumps for 4 comps, so yeah, it's been a good lead up. We've been trying hard.
Well, obviously, because you've got the gold medal and you will be representing Australia at the Mondial, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll be there.
So what's the next for you guys? What's the strategy? You're going to train more, get harder? What's the next level? It's a step up.
Yeah, exactly. Just keep improving on what we've got, and yeah, bring it to the world's best.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yo. Cheers, brother.
That's it. We are with Jetstream, the winners in the wingsuiting competition here. Guys, how does it feel?
Good. Yeah, finally got there.
It was great fun, good competition, great organisation, good fun. We were actually training together for the last 2-3 years as a team, and we did at least 200-300 jumps together as a team. And
yeah, the goal is 100 a year, so yeah.
100 a year?
Yeah.
So you will be representing Australia at the Mondial, is that correct?
Correct, yes, that's our goal. Work harder, train more, and get there.
Get there.
Yeah, we're just going to have a little chat and work out what sort of jumps we need to do to beat the competition. But it'll be good to just participate and see where we fit in the world's competition.
I believe that this will be the very first World Championships of wingsuiting, so we're putting a history here.
Yeah.
How does it feel good to be part of the very first one?
Yeah, we've been training hard for a few years, so for us it doesn't feel like a first, but officially it is going to be the first. So yeah, finally the hard work's paid off.
Congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
Good luck. Yes. Thank you. Team Focus, the national champions, VFS. How are you guys? How does it feel?
Oh, awesome. How are you?
Oh, here we are.
Here we are.
At the very end of a very interesting day. So, you guys did a record jump on round number 1. So you beat your old record, which was 13 points, correct?
Yeah.
And then in round number 6, you beat the record again. So, and then you tied it again in round number 8. Wow. How does it feel?
Yeah, pretty good. We probably got a little bit more in us, but yeah, we were pretty lucky to do what we did because we had a bit of a moment on round 4. So yeah, we just needed to maintain a composure and sort it out. So yeah, it was good.
So these medals, guys, are obviously shining pretty good on your neck. You're going to the Mondial in Chicago.
We are.
Yes, and we talked about the home turf of Standard. Any pressure?
A lot of pressure. Come on, like it's SDS Core, right? They're best in the world at the moment, so we're going to try and step up to the plate and put some scores on the board and participate.
Well, guys, we'll be watching you. We'll be in Chicago as well, so good
All
luck
right.
and congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Man.
Yes.
Yes.
I felt this trick earlier.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Day 3 of the competition is going on. Beautiful day here today at Skydive Nagambie, and the energy is absolutely fantastic. The accuracy competitors just took off and they are on round 5 of their competition.
Nervous, first jump of the day. Make sure nothing goes wrong, but I got 1 centimetre. If I can get 5 more of those 1 centimetre or less, they're really good. I'll be really happy.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How was round 5 for you guys, Graham?
First out, and boy, that wind up high, that's just like as strong as yesterday. You know, we got out a long way away. I was wondering if we're still on track. Yeah, I got a 2 on that, and yeah, you're right, it's no time for mucking around. You pick a final and that's it.
Yeah.
A low one and stick on that, and just hope that's the right one.
Not so good this morning. Yeah, no, I had a very hot approach. I wore my weights to try and help, but I think I over-amped it on the final, so too hot. Do better on the next one.
Well, I had my best jump today, so at this stage in the competition I was very, very pleased to get a thing that's almost perfect. And I was the last one out, so I actually had a great view of the countryside too. So a long way away, flying back was just beautiful, and then coming in at the final part I managed to get it all together and do a good one, so I was very happy about that.
Okay, so this was round 6 for you. How was it?
Not quite as good. Moved my foot just the last minute instead of just got 3 centimetres. So I'm still up there, but would have been happy with 1 or 0. A little bit more wind up higher, but down low, not much difference.
I did notice that you guys exited a little further out. Did you have to do a lot of adjustments on your final approach?
Not on the final approach, just up higher we did, yeah.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
Round 6. Well, we're halfway there. I'm consistent with my scores, but not sharp enough with them at the moment. So, main thing, get on the pad. With these conditions, they're going to get blustery as we get in the morning. So, but you know, I mean, 7 is 7. So, most people would think that 7 was pretty close, but in our sport, it's not. So.
That's right. So you noticed the conditions. Tell us a little bit about these conditions.
Yeah, we've done 2 jumps this morning. We were probably lucky enough to be on the first load, and they were quite good. They're getting a little bumpy and lumpy, probably at about I'd say 50 feet. At one stage there, I turned around and had no drive, and all of a sudden I came through the burble, and then you've got to rearrange and reset your trim on your canopy and everything. And so, and as it turned out, I got blown sideways and had to use my opposite foot. So yeah, I managed to jag a 7 out of it. So. Competition's not over until the last jump's done, so
that's right.
We've got 4 to go.
Today we continue with 4-way free fall formation and canopy formation, and here are the teams. Rotorau, how are you guys?
Good.
Round 3 of the competition. You're still in the lead
Thank
so
God.
far. How was round 3 for you?
Rocky moments, but we worked through it. 3 blocks, you know. It's always a working man's jump, as we say.
What was the rocky moment?
Look, some of our 14s weren't completely clean, like level-wise, but we sorted it. We got there.
Very good. What was the draw for this jump?
The draw was 3, 14, 21.
Any specific strategy?
Just work through it. Make sure the ins and outs are quick, execute the blocks well, get in and out of the blocks quickly, put the points on the board.
Yeah. On the exit, did you guys have to do anything specific on the exit to make sure everything works out properly?
Yeah, we had a good exit plan. I was elbow jamming down on the tail, and I think it all worked pretty well. Did what we wanted, so we were happy with the exit.
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability. This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
So round 3 of the competition, how was it for you?
Pretty smooth actually, yeah. Exit was a little bit iffy, but after that we went pretty well.
Why was it iffy?
Just wasn't perfect.
What does not perfect mean?
Can have a bit of a wobble sometimes.
What happened on the exit?
I was actually quite happy with this actually. This is not a particularly solid one, and I think we actually executed it quite well.
I think we did do a slightly different engineering within the jump to other teams, which I think we pulled off pretty well.
Round 4. We're doing a personal best for our team this year. Last year we were averaging around 2 to 3, and we're doing about 5 this year, so we're happy with our performance.
That's a 50% improvement.
Yeah, so we're pretty happy with that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
So anything different you guys are doing this year than you did last year?
Not really, no. Just been practicing a lot more.
That was round number 4.
How did you guys do?
Pretty consistent.
Consistently bad.
Consistently bad.
No, we're doing all right. We're doing all right.
Having
guys.
fun.
Yeah.
Having fun, that's the main thing.
What's is there any more? How's this competition for you as a whole?
It's been good. It's been good
Yep.
fun. Yeah,
Fun?
good learning curve.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
Stinger Defense, the number 2 team right behind Chaps. How are you guys? How's the competition?
Yeah, it's really good. We're getting some good docks in, nice and smooth. Just that last one was really smooth. Yeah, so we're going to give them a run for their money, I think.
Well, that's what we like to hear. That's what competition is all about. You guys hopping over Chicago?
We'll do our best. Sometimes life gets in the way with babies and work, but we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, the team's holding up really well. We're giving it our all and doing the best that we can right now.
So if you win the intermediate this year, are you moving to Open next year?
Well, so 2 of us are Open members. We both have competed it for other teams before, so I think the girls, when they win, they will for sure move into Open.
So
They're good enough to move in.
So
to
you're
Open.
the mentor of the team?
Oh, I think we both are.
You both are.
We're both blind leading the blind. You know how it goes.
So you're competing in Open division and you decided to help the girls out to get them to the next level?
Yeah, so the girls did most of the work. So they made a huge commitment to go from bugger all jumps, like 50 jumps, to whatever they have now and see how fast they can get and how quickly they can get up here. So they've done a really good job. They've done tunnel, they've gone overseas, they've trained with world champions, and then they got off.
That's right. So how does it feel to have such a phenomenal mentors on your team?
Oh, it's amazing. We wouldn't have done it without them. We're lucky to have the 2 best coaches in Australia mentoring us. So it's awesome. They give us a lot more support, not just in the jumping. So it's great.
It feels fantastic. I mean, to see the girls with the attitudes they have and the commitment that they've shown, those are really the 2 big things. And so to be able to help them on their journey, it's a great opportunity. It really is.
Now, what's the draw for this one, Mariska?
This
Better know this one.
this round we're going to is AOK2.
Okay. Any strategic exits? Anything that you need to do differently?
Nothing that we need to do differently. Hopefully we keep doing what we've been doing in training. Go faster. Keep it tight. Keep it close, and accurate.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
How was the cutaway?
Yeah, it was smashing, old boy.
Yeah?
It was a jolly good show.
Did you find your canopy?
Yeah, it all landed back. We're getting good at spotting our cutaways now.
That's right.
Getting back on the DZ.
So was it because of that cutaway that you guys missed around?
Yeah, it happened off the door, so
we obviously couldn't do the round, so chased it all down, packed the reserve, and we're trying to play catch up now on the rest. So,
Fantastic. How was that round for you guys?
Oh, it was good, yeah. Boys improving, new canopies they're jumping, so I'm new to their team as well, so yeah, everything's going really well.
What a day here at the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships at Skydive Nagambie. The competitors in the FS competition are going through their 5th round, and this will be the end of the day. The CF competitors have actually completed 4 rounds for the day and will continue tomorrow morning. And here are the current standings. The action will continue tomorrow morning, and we're going to bring it all to you. My name is Sammy Vasiliev, and you're watching Skydive TV. Stay tuned.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
Day 4 of the competition here at Skydive Nagambie is underway. We are the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships. Round number 7 is about to be completed, and this is the last of the jumpers, and we continue with round number 8 and round number 9 for the rest of the competition. The formation skydiving 4-way is also under the way. We're on round number 7 and 8, and also the canopy formation 2-way sequentials and 4-way are going at the same time. And this is the end of the accuracy competition. Let's see who's taking home the gold and will be representing Australia at the Mondial in Chicago. We have a jump off here in the 10th round. Who is it between?
It's between Janine and Frank are doing a jump off. They're going to see who the tied scores at the present moment and wait to see who gets into the Australian team. So the winner out of this jump off will get that position.
We also heard there is actually a very close competition between the first and the second place in the accuracy competition.
Yep.
Who is that between?
It's between Don and Tibor. It's down to 1 centimetre between who's in first and second place at the present moment. So their jump off is the next aircraft load will be it, and they'll be trying to fight out to see who's going to get the gold out of those two.
The action is on here at the accuracy tuffet. 1 centimetre is a very, very close distance to be leading by. So we're going to stand by right here and bring you all the action and see who's going to take home the gold and represent Australia at the Mondial in 2016. So there is Janine coming in for a final approach, a bit bumpy, and she has 14. Here's Janine. Hi Janine, how was the jump off?
Look, I could have done better. Hung in there, got to the target, but just shut it down too quick at the end, so that's life.
I mean, when you're in the plane and you know that even if you stuff this jump up, you're going to take out third place, but you want to do the best you can. The winds have started to pick up quite a lot, as you see by this guy come after me. He was all over the place. I mean, at one stage he was right off the tuffet. Had to do a big 180-degree turn, get back on track, and managed to jag it. I mean, that's what we're doing to this day. We're jagging all the things. Get what you can, and but I was happy to get third position outright. So.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
Last
working hard? We were worried. Look at that. Yeah, I thought I wasn't going to come down.
Yes, Graham, last round, 6 centimeters. Interesting approach.
Yeah, man, that's the toughest I've been in for a long time.
We noticed that. It was you're sashaying right over the target
I
here.
couldn't come down. It's great, and I'm really happy that you and Eva are here making this for Skydive TV. This is wonderful.
Thanks, Graham.
Good on you.
So after round 9, the leader, Don Woodland, who was leading the accuracy event since pretty much the beginning, fell to second place. We're going to find out who the winner of this competition is going to be. And Don has 0.2 score on this, which puts him at 39 centimeters from the center. We'll see how Tibor does as he's coming down and who will grab the gold in the accuracy competition. This is Tibor coming down. And he scored 5 points, and we have a new champion. Don is the new champion.
It can't be right eye here in the background, so there'll be a rejump.
Congratulations, Don. You just won the...
Go on. 1-6.
Good luck.
Yeah, buddy. I've been waiting for 32 years to get this.
32 years. How does it feel? Let it go, man. So, Don, you'll be representing Australia in the 2016
Yes.
Mondial.
Yes.
32 years you've been waiting for this moment. How does it feel?
Feels fantastic, absolutely fantastic. I've got 2/3, 1 second, And finally, first!
So persistence pays.
Absolutely.
What was going through your mind when you exited this aircraft knowing that you're within 1 centimeter from the gold in Australia?
I was just with my best mate, and it was a really good feeling.
Yeah?
And I was sure I'm going to kick his ass, but it didn't happen.
This man coached me for the last 10 years, and it's the only reason I'm here now is because of him.
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
Well, this is it. The accuracy competition has ended. We have a new champion, Don Woodland, who will be representing Australia at the 2016 Mondial in Chicago. Until then, my name is Sam Vasiliev and you're watching Skydive TV. Stay tuned.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
Day 4 of the competition here at Skydive Nagambie is underway. We had the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships. All of the competition jumps are broadcasted straight onto that huge video wall right behind us. The competitors sit around and have an opportunity to see how everybody else in this competition is doing. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of people enjoying this fantastic screen right outside of the drop zone. Beltrix have a new Australian record into the four-way female girls. Congratulations. Round 6 was 23 points. How did you pull that one off?
I think mostly we just tried to keep calm and yeah, not go too crazy and lose it. No, we pulled it off really nicely. I was pretty proud of us.
Yes, you did. I watched that big screen there when you guys were tight on the turns. You had a phenomenal exit. How did that feel?
It was perfect. We were perfect.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
We have a potential for one more record at these nationals here in Australia, and this is in the intermediate division. The Team Eminence set a record last year for most points in time. Round 7 is going to be extremely fast round. We have an MHQ and an L, so that's a possibility for another record. We're going to watch them and see what happens in round 7 of this competition. Eminence is waiting very impatiently to get there, round 7, judged to see if they actually have a potential record or not.
Oh, come on.
There we go.
I'm really nervous.
Get a heart attack, mate.
Yeah, exactly.
Me nervous. Stop it.
Oh, no, sorry.
Stop it.
Not a record. No, it's not a record.
Not a record.
Not a
Not a
record.
record.
So
Ta-da!
we lost 7 off the door.
Yes, okay. I noticed that and I'm like, okay, because I knew the points. So maybe I missed something.
I missed something too.
No.
I thought we did 30. I thought we did 30.
We just saw the record. Well, not the record. What happened? No, right here. right here.
Just mistimed the count on they left and just went a little bit too early and missed 7 points.
Yeah, 7 points early.
Yeah.
So it is
You're on,
competition. Yes, it is a competition, and that's what happens. Did you have anything to do with pressure?
I think so, yeah. I built it on myself, I think, so it wasn't good.
No, he's awesome.
That's all right. So guys, this is competition. That's what happens. The pressure is always on, and it's most importantly to keep it going and contain it as much as you can, or you get busted 7 points. Good job. Congratulations, guys. Going on to round 8.
Yeah, no worries. Thank you.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Good way to start the day. It was a fast round, a good way to put some points on the board. We could have tidied things up a little bit, but I think it was not a bad round for us where we are in our training. Keeping everything tight, making sure the sevens were good. Our sevens were a little scrappy, but not too bad. But we got through the random sequence pretty well.
We're with Taipan Defense. They're battling for third place currently with average of 12.4 points per round. They're very close with the next team, Quattro. Can you tell us if there's any difference, any strategies to actually get that bronze medal at the moment?
Well, I think the strategy would be to turn the most amount of points as possible. But no, look, the guys are looking really good in the air, looking very smooth, working well as a team, and yeah, I think they'll come through.
How many team jumps has a team done for this competition?
This particular team is the representative team for the Defence Force, and so they've been putting in some good efforts over the past over a year. So they've been together for quite a while, and they're working really well as a dynamic team. So
be consistent, stay smooth, tick over each round in your head. Don't change anything. You know, we have a strategy put in place, and just keep that and don't change. Yeah.
Taipan Defense is right behind you guys. Very
close. They're only 1 point behind. Yeah.
1 point, and that's 2/10 of a average.
Yeah.
A little bit of pressure.
I think from our point of view, we're not concerned about the other teams. We do what we planned and stick to our system, then yeah, all the points will come out at the end.
Fisher Space Pen, American dependability. This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
We're into round 5 and round 6 of the 4-way sequential and the 2-way sequential.
So how's been the event going? Is there any re-jumps?
Yes, we did. We had one. There's a new rule this year for they've thrown away the discard jump, and they're allowed one malfunction in the event, and on the first round one of the teams had a malfunction, so luckily they haven't had any more.
All right, we are with K4, which is an interesting combination. It's the only team in the four-way canopy sequential event, and it's a combination of chaps and a meet director. How is the meet going so far, sir?
Everyone seems pretty happy with how it's going. We're doing all that we can. We're getting the best conditions here. We've had no big holds or anything. It's just ticking along as smooth as it can.
How are you able to manage your competition experience and the meet at the same time?
With great difficulty, yeah. It's been a busy few days.
So you guys are on chaps. How does it feel to be on two different teams at two different events?
Gets a little bit confusing from time to time, but no, apart from that, it's been a busy, as Crash said, it's been a busy couple of days, and looking forward to finishing up later on this afternoon. So
always different going to the nationals when we don't have any competition, then we go to the worlds and there is competition, but you know, we're still a pretty new team, so we're just taking it realistically and doing as best as we can. We're planning on doing a fair bit of training between now and then to hopefully get up there with closer to the top teams.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960.
The last round of canopy formation just landed. Let's see who the champions are. Four-way is over. Let's see who the champions are.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Thanks everybody, great competition. We had loads of fun, particularly from the judges. I would like to thank the dubbers, Mayday, John Mackay, Maddie, and a lady I never met, but she was fantastic. Put your hands together, please. I would also like to thank David Choi, as a visiting judge from Korea, for coming to us. And with great pride and pleasure, I wish to announce that at this Nationals and in previous months, we have managed to rate in accuracy and formation skydiving 6 new Australian judges. They are Wade Challoner, Ken Enright, Fergus Fergie, Lee Critchley, Leanne Connor, Yijun Huang. We have 6 new judges!
Okay.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey. Fisher Space Pen. American dependability. This portion of the program is brought to you by Paragear, serving skydivers and the world since 1960. This portion of the program is brought to you by Fisher Space Pen, American dependability.
Team Rotor, the new national champions in Australia. How does it feel?
Fantastic, fantastic. We've, we came into the competition with a particular aim in sight, and we got pretty close to it. It was a slow draw, but I think we performed quite well.
What was that particular reason?
Probably, the jumps weren't too bad, but some of it, yesterday's jumps were a little sort of rugged, I guess, so we probably didn't execute them as well as we hoped, but look, at the end of the day, we have to be happy with that score.
Well, you did pull it off for sure, so you're going to Chicago, correct?
Yeah, we're going to Chicago. Yeah, we want to improve a bit more, but very happy with the result, and for me in particular, this is my first four-way gold, so I'm happy to be representing Australia and turning up at the next World Meet.
What's next for Team Rotor? Are you taking a break a little bit, regrouping, rethinking on your strategy, or are you going straight into training, getting ready for Chicago?
We have a few plans in place, but we've got to refine those now, I think. It's probably unwise to plan too far ahead. We have a week in Spain in middle of July, and we need to pencil in a few more training dates.
Well, guys, congratulations. You're new champs. Give me a big five. Woo. There we go. And we will see you in Chicago, guys. Absolutely. Yeah. Eminence, congratulations, guys.
Thank you.
The new intermediate champions.
Thank you.
Mariska, I will have a question for you specifically. 100 jumps last year, 300 jumps this year. Tell me about it.
It's been an amazing journey. I couldn't have done any of it, one, without my amazing teammate, and most of all, these two amazing coaches. I can't thank them enough for everything that they've done with all the support, not just coaching us throughout the jumps. Grant and Gary both message us daily with ways to visualise and other sort of points, which carries over into the rest of our life as well. So can't thank these guys enough, and especially our cameraman as well, the entire team. So it's been an amazing journey.
Well, it is an amazing accomplishment on your end to go from 100 to a gold medal in 1 year. So congratulations. And I have one question for the cameraman.
It's going to last the whole night.
You have a gold medal in the intermediate.
Yes, I do. Yes.
With evidence.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
And a bust on a national record jump.
And a terrible bust. Yes. It was.
So the contrast is quite big. But being here, tell me what your feelings are about what happened.
My feelings. Oh.
Just stop crying.
I don't know. It's hard to say. I've had mixed feelings all day about it. I've missed a couple of little exits and the biggest jump of the whole day was where I had the biggest bust of my life. So yeah, after 3.5 years of not missing a point, and then all of a sudden today has been the worst day of my life, actually.
Oh, no. So this confirms that how important the camera guy is, and they're part of the team, the camera guy busts, there is no points. And today we actually witnessed something that happened incredible. We lost a national record because of a camera bust. However, the cameraman that busted it has a gold medal in a media division. Amazing. So what's next for Eminence?
So what's next for Eminence? We need to get together after this and work out what our next plans are. We've only really put our plan together for the Nationals. We're on a mission to come here, do well, fly our best, and I think the girls have more than exceeded on that goal. So next plans are plan our next mission.
Moving to the Open?
We have to move to the Open. Yeah.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
We have the new Australian national champion in the accuracy, Don, 32 years.
I've been waiting 32 years to get this. This is probably my most important medal I've ever had. So I'd like to thank you for being there every morning. When we've been getting up early, you've been there with the camera and the buzzing, and we've had a ball.
Well, it was an interesting competition.
Yeah.
And dreams do come true as long as you're persistent about it.
Yeah.
What's next for you?
Chicago, I want to practice, train, and see if I can do my best I can in Chicago.
You know, this is a different level of competition.
Oh, yeah.
It's a world stage.
I've been there 4 times.
What years?
04, 08, 10 and 12.
10 and 12. Well, what would you be doing next to get yourself ready for that level?
We've got some training camps coming up, and I think I'll go and do as much work as I can to get in practice.
Do you stay in close relationship with some of the US accuracy competitors?
No, I know some of them because I've competed and trained and know them when I've been at World Meets, but I don't keep in contact with them now.
As a champion, what would you do to encourage the younger generation to get into the accuracy event? Because it is obviously an event that is...
It's a dying art.
Dying art.
But I've tried as much as I can to encourage all the youngsters to get into it and get in there.
That's right.
Stop those discs.
Congratulations, Don. Thank you. You're a new champion.
Thank you.
Yeah, we have it. 32 years in the making. Finally, persistence does pay. Keep going at it. Here we go. We have the new national champions, 4-way sequential K4. Guys, what did it take you to get here? Don?
It took...
Canopies.
Yeah, it took canopies. Yeah, Icarus canopies.
Yeah.
Well, it was an interesting event, single team. I mean, it's tough to compete against yourselves.
For sure. Yeah. There's no one else there to compete against. We're prepared to do that. We're just on our way forward. We're going to do this thing, yeah?
Just a mind game.
Of course.
Yeah, just mind games.
So was it more for popularity to get younger kids to get into the sport?
Nah, just because this is what we want to do. This is fun, especially on these parachutes. Like, it's scary as hell, but it's fun.
You will be representing Australia at the World Championships in Chicago. What are you going to do next to get there?
We're going to do some jumps. We're going to get better, yeah?
Yeah, I hope so.
A little bit of training.
Yeah, a little bit of training, a little bit of loving. We're going to be there.
Well, congratulations, the new champs.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes.
Giddy up.
You will be representing the United States at the Chicago Mondial, or is the team going?
No, we'll be representing Australia.
Okay.
And then
Let's take two. I didn't want to bust the balls too much.
This is after I gave you $10 to make up your card last night.
I'm gonna buy us some beer too. But a competition is a competition, man. Beer is beer.
Getting a photo.
Yes, please. Here we go, guys.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Cookie Composites, proudly Australian.
Day 5 of the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championship starts with sports accuracy. We have originally 6 competitors who registered. It dropped down to 2. Let's see who they are. The sports accuracy competition started in day 5. However, it was over after round 1. It was made a decision by the judges. Judges, why did you make a decision to stop the competition after round 1?
Main reason is for safety jumpers. The winds out there have started off nice and calm this morning, but by the time we got the competition going, it had picked up. It was becoming too windy. We got the first round jumped, and then just as they land on the ground, the wind started to peak over the limits. And for the safety competitors, the last thing we want to do is hurt any of those. So if you have a look out there now, you'll see that it's gusting all over the place, coming from every direction. And we don't want these guys landing and have a mechanic collapse or anything else on them as they're approaching.
I understand. So can a competition be judged after a single round?
Yes, our rules say that we can close it at 1 round. So we're quite happy to do that with this. We had a lot of trouble there because we got the heat and we got a lot of lift and a lot of buffeting. Just wasn't worth it. We don't want somebody slamming into the ground at the last minute.
How many competitors entered this competition?
Originally we had 6 enter, then it dropped down to 5, and I think because they saw what the conditions were like, it got down to 2 today.
This portion of the program was brought to you by Manufactory, customized apparel and merchandise for your brand.
Well, we have the silver and the gold winners in the sports accuracy competition. Guys, only 1 round. It is what it is. It's a fairly new event in the world of competing. What's different from accuracy?
Well, this is a great event. You can do it on your traditional everyday canopy.
It's structured so that anyone can win it, and it promotes safe approaches and stand-up landings, which are pretty important.
So would you say that this event is targeted towards a newer generation skydivers?
Yes, I do. I think it's quite an easy competition as well if you're good with your accuracy, although Luke's a bit of a mentor for me. I've done a few canopy courses with him, and he's a legend. So yeah, anyone can sort of do this, so that's what makes it a good thing.
Well, guys, congratulations. You're a new champion in sports accuracy, and we hope to see you next year.
Yeah. Thank you.
Safety's been the big winner here today.
Yeah. Well, we would like to wish happy birthday to Mel. Your husband is the new national champion in sports accuracy, so you send him over here. You're taking care of 3 kids, so we all want to say something to you. Guys?
Happy birthday, Mel. Happy birthday, honey.
Total of 140 competitors registered for the 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships, and 157 loads were made for the entire competition. I believe Skydive Nagambie made their personal record for 31 loads per day.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Sun Pet Products. Make every jump an odyssey.
It was a great competition for us, as you said, with some records out there, especially with the girls team, Bellatrix, with a national record. So we're pretty stoked at the event and really happy that the competitors competed well, stayed safe, and really enjoyed themselves. So they'll take home some great memories from this Nationals. Look out, Chicago, here comes Australia.
The 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships is over. We saw great skydives, we saw a lot of fantastic energy and competition. We have new champions and new gold medalists. Some disappointments, but this is what competition is all about. Overall, fantastic event. Next for Skydive TV is the 2016 USPA Canopy Piloting Championships in Z Hills. My name is Sam Vasiliev and you are watching Skydive TV. See you soon.
Fisher Space Pen. American dependability.
What is APF doing in regards to promoting and getting the sport out to the general public?
Look, I think skydiving's best asset is what we do. We jump out of planes and we have great visuals. We recently put a TV commercial on mainstream TV to see, and we've never done that before. We wanted to look, how we could measure growth and all that sort of stuff. So we've got these strategies out there, putting what we do out there into the general public on mainstream TV, through the internet, getting as much vision out there as we possibly can. Because I feel that we've lost the ability to get into the kids' heads, because the display jumps aren't done anymore. It's a lot harder to do the school jump or into the local football field or anything like that. So we need to make sure that skydiving becomes general conversation in the kitchen. When the family's sitting around, all the mates are sitting around and they're having a beer. What are we going to do next weekend? We don't want them to be talking about, let's go surfing, let's go motorbike riding. We want skydiving to be in the mix. So we need to make sure that the visuals are always there, so that it's always in people's minds. So they will say, hey, let's go and do a skydive. And then once they come out and do the skydive, then we retain them as part of our family.
This is very interesting. And the APF put a 30-second commercial out on mainstream TV.
Yeah, we did, yeah.
There comes a moment in life where I think you kind of go, this is what I was meant to do.
Everyone looked so cool and relaxed doing it.
That's what life is about for me. I'm an experience junkie.
You could win one of 10 skydives. Jump onto apf.com.au.
You speak to people and they say, why would you jump out of a plane? And I say, well, why wouldn't you?
Was there anything strategic about it, and how did the APF decide to do it, and when was it released?
It was very strategic. We released it a week before the release of Point Break. We knew from the 90s that Point Break did fantastic stuff for skydiving generally, but we kind of knew this Point Break was a little bit different, so we released it a week before and it ran for 2 weeks after Point Break. So again, it's all of that strategy of making sure those images are in people's minds, so that they're just continuing to talk about skydiving. We also released a social media campaign. We did a accelerated freefall promotion where we used Point Break, the Point Break trailer, and we asked the question, how many people jumped out of the aeroplane, and people would enter the social media competition, and it was all about accelerated freefall. So we're subtly aiming our strategy towards getting more sporting licenses. Tandems will look after themselves. The industry is just going to get better and better and better, but we need to get the tandem instructors from somewhere. So that's why we're really looking at campaigning to get more people in the sport as skydivers, not just a bucket list item.
Wow. So was there any measurable results? Did you see any increases after the...
We did. The figures January, February 2015, for example, were X amount, and 2016, January, February was 19.5% growth.
98.5%?
19.5%.
Oh, 19.5%.
So nearly 20% growth on new members. And we can relate that mostly to the fact that we did the TV commercial, because we measured it through a call of action. So we collect the database, so we know the numbers that come through, and we know where they come from, and that also comes from the social media campaign as well, because we see an increase in students, not just tandems.
So the return on investment on that commercial, would you say it was positive for the APF?
100% positive. The fact that just in those 2 months we know that our images work. So as I said before, we've never put a TV commercial out there, so it was unknown territory for us. We didn't know what was going to come from it. but the fact that we did put it out there and we've seen the numbers grow across tandems, across students, it's going to take 12 months to completely measure. We're sort of leaving summer and coming into winter now, so we'll keep campaigning and putting stuff out there so that I don't know, Australians are a little bit let's do it next month sort of thing. So we need to weigh up what the lag is, and we need to give that several months to find out exactly how well it has worked. But signs are really positive.
We are with the CEO of the Australian Parachute Federation, Brett Turner. Hello, Brett. How are you?
I'm great, thanks, Sammy. Yeah. How about yourself?
Fantastic, fantastic day, beautiful day here at Skydive Nagambie. The nationals are going. How difficult was it to put this event together?
Oh, look, it's always difficult to putting nationals together, especially as the number of disciplines grow every year. But look, the guys here have done a fantastic job. It's a purpose-built drop zone, and they've got all the facilities, as you can see behind me here. We've got the aircraft, and most of all, we've got the competitors. So what more can you ask for? Plus beautiful blue skies.
Yeah, it was supposed to rain today, but the weatherman was wrong.
It's Victoria.
Well, Australian Parachute Federation is having a very interesting approach towards skydiving today, and as you and I discussed yesterday, branding skydiving. Can you expand into and tell us a little bit about how about that approach?
We're embarking on quite a number of campaigns to lift the image of skydiving in Australia as a sport. So we want it to be on everybody's tongues when they're thinking about an activity to do, like tennis, soccer, skateboarding. We want them to think about skydiving, and not just for tandem skydiving. That industry in Australia is growing enormously. It's got its own legs and running. But we're more interested in getting people in doing first jump courses, getting them through to an A licence, and then opening up the world of skydiving to them, and hopefully more competitors.
I heard and I saw the commercial that the APF put out. That was very successful from what I understand. Can you tell us a little more about the commercial?
Well, the commercial was to expose to the public exactly what skydiving is all about, and it's about the atmosphere and the culture of skydiving, showing it's a fun environment to get involved with, and it's not just for the elderly, it's for the kids, and that's where we're driving it towards. We're driving it to people when they come out of schools. What do they want their kids to do? Let's get into skydiving. And it was the whole atmosphere about the commercial was focused around women in sport as well. You might have noticed on the ad we had a number of ladies there that have gone through a course recently and shown what's available to women in skydiving. We've got a women in adventure sport program happening at the moment as well. We've got a number of initiatives right across the board to not just get people into skydiving, but where to from here, and look after them and nurture them, sustain the growth.
This is a fantastic endeavor you have taken upon. It's definitely made an impression on us and a lot of other people, and we wish you all the best with it. This year is an on year for Australia, and this particular competition is a selection year for the national team. What is APF doing to prepare for the upcoming Mondial?
Well, we've got some substantial funds set aside to fund our teams to go to the Nationals. We also had a request from Michael Vaughan, and $100,000 was left to the team, which is just fantastic. Plus the resources, financial and human resources that the APF itself is putting towards helping our teams achieve their best, their personal best, and get them best prepared them to go to the World Championships in Chicago.
The APF has a very interesting structure of funding itself. Can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, well, it is very interesting actually. A number of years ago, about 20 odd years ago, a couple of smart members decided to set up a couple of different trust funds, and that was to stop the money being squandered away in unnecessary corners of the industry, and put it aside to fund our national teams to go to World Championships, and that's primarily what that trust is for. The funds that sit in there actually sit in investment accounts, so as long as the share market's doing okay, the funds will receive the rewards off that, and that goes back to the years, back to the teams year on year. I think this year we'll be funding the teams up to about 150,000, maybe a little bit more. On top of that, there's another 100,000 that goes towards team uniforms. We want them to look good, we want them to feel good, want them to feel like an Olympic champion when they go to these championships.
Well, we wish you all the best, and thank you for the opportunity to represent the Australian Parachute Federation to the rest of the world.
Thank you.
We're here with Rob from Manufactory, who makes all these wonderful wind blades, our shirts, and we'd like to ask him a couple questions about the competition here in Australia. Hi Rob, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you for taking the time to say hello, and yeah, thanks for the compliments on the shirts.
Well, thank you for the shirts as well. See, it's interesting because we got a Manufacturer shirt and he's got a Skydive TV hat.
I got a rep.
Yes, absolutely. So Rob, tell us about the competition. It's an event that happens once a year in Australia. This is an on-year. What is your take on the competition?
Well, that's right. I mean, it happens, we do have the competition annually, and it has been held here last year and this year now at this drop zone Skydive Nagambie, which is actually probably one of the more premier facilities within the state. As you can see, they've taken an enormous amount of work to get this up to scratch for a national level. And it's not just a national level. Skydive Nagambie, along with the APF, have actually put in a lot of time and money to be able to make this almost world level. Look, the States is very big and so is Europe, but these guys have brought it up to probably one of the best facilities in this country. So being an on year, and it's just epic to be having so much facilities at our disposal for this year. It's a really important year. Obviously, like you said, because we're off to Chicago in a few months.
That's right. Yeah, and that brings us to another question. You know, you as a part of this event, what is your relationship within manufacturing and the IPF? Are you working together on supporting the sport, and in what respect do you do so?
We are. So my wife and I, who started Manufactory, we've had a huge career in clothing and fashion, and that's basically how we got into developing this. And I've been really lucky to work with Rob Lebeau from the APF, and I suppose design and get the national team's uniform really up to date. Not like up to date on a fashion wise and what the athletes need. You know, if it's hot, if it's cold, they travel all the time. We've done luggage and hats and jerseys and stuff. So to get like my friends who are athletes into awesome product is a real win-win. And then working with the APF as well and watching what people like Rob Lebeau are doing, and Don from Nagambie, they're putting in so much time, like I said, and money, and they're just bringing up the sport because we want to see this as a main extreme sport. You know, it's actually older than most extreme sports, but we want to get it really up there. So I've got a bit of passion to see the sports lifespan also really sort of lengthen out and become as popular as it should be to the mainstream customer.
So because of all these efforts, have you noticed an increase in competitors on yearly basis, and how does it compare to last year or what we're doing today?
Well, actually last year, so if you break it down by discipline, we've lost a few VFS teams, which is the vertical formation skydiving, which is, it's for such a country with a small population of jumpers, it's pretty hard to get into, and there's a couple of teams who sort of own that slot in this country. But there is an increase in artistic, which we only just got our first few skydiving indoor tunnels recently, and so we're seeing, you know, maybe VFS go down, but we're seeing artistic go up. And then flat is, there's definitely, from my time in the sport, which is only short, we've seen some Australian flat teams, they're starting to really rival the open categories, and I think our top end flat teams are becoming really strong now. You know, we used to have one or two great ones and then maybe 5 or 6 scratch, and now we've got a few really good open teams that are going to probably fight it out pretty hard at this Nationals, yeah.
The 2016 Australian National Skydiving Championships are held in the city of Nagambie. Nagambie is the birthplace of the legendary racehorse Black Caviar. You can see the statue right behind me, which was put out by the town to commemorate this legendary horse. She was born in 2006, August of 2006, and has 25 unbeaten starts.
have the pleasure to speak with the CEO of one of the oldest winery in Victoria. Tabuk is the name of the winery. Can you tell us first a little bit of story of the winery?
Sure. Tabuk was established in 1860, so we're the oldest winery in our state of Victoria. I'm a fourth generation winemaker here. Very happy to report that my daughter Hayley is also working with the company, so we've now got 5 generations invested in Tabuk. But we have lots of points of difference to other Australian wineries. The big varietal point of difference, and a variety that we put a lot of time into, is called Marsanne. It's a French variety. It hails from the Côte d'Or. And we have the oldest vines in Australia, which were planted in 1927, and about 100 acres of that variety, which is the largest single holding in the world. So it makes a really interesting, light, unoaked white wine style. And because there's so little of it in the world, it's always a talking point. Tabuk's, well, I won't mention all the countries we're exporting to, 20 countries, and the main countries, America, Canada, Sweden is terrific for us, and we're putting a lot of effort into China now.
And how do you produce it, and how soon you have the first wine?
Well, we're running 2 completely different processes here. One very traditional, let's call it European style for our reds, and one very modern for our white wines. So our red wines are made utilising a lot of the original equipment that you'll see in the winery. Open vats, which are quite normal in Europe, and all we're doing there is pumping the fermenting juice over onto the skins, and we extract all the colour, the flavour and the tannins, and then the process is quite simple. It's down into the underground cellars and aged for about 20 months in large wood before bottling. With our white wines though,
20 months?
About 20 months, yeah,
Wow.
yeah, nearly 2 years. With our white wines, it's more about oxygen exclusion and flavour retention, so we're using very modern equipment. So there's lots of stainless steel refrigeration, modern tank presses, and that does justice to the white quality.
Tell us more about the Shiraz wines that you offer.
Well, Shiraz is a really interesting variety for the whole Australian wine industry, and I think it's fair to say that it is the one variety that Australia does really well that it actually owns internationally. So wherever you're overseas, if people are talking Shiraz, they're normally thinking Australia. So it's Australian Shiraz. It happens here on the property that we have a very old original planted block of Shiraz. It was actually planted the year that the winery was established in 1860, and that we found out that they're the 3rd oldest Shiraz vines in the world. Now you'd think, well, other 2 older blocks must be somewhere in Europe. Not true. They're actually in Australia. So it's really nice that Australia can boast the oldest Shiraz vines in the world, as well as having complete ownership of the variety on a global scale.
Interesting, very interesting. And why did you decide to sponsor the skydiving event? Have you skydived in your life?
Well, it's on my bucket list. I've bungee jumped, but I haven't skydived yet. But I will one day. I definitely will. We like to support, lots of local businesses and organisations as best we can. To our mind, any business or any local association that adds value to the community or brings lots of visitors into the area, which obviously has an economic benefit to the region, is a good thing. So skydiving, they're doing really well with that operation. They've just had the Nationals there, which I'm told were a great success, and so we are more than happy to do our little bit to help by giving some wine for prizes and so on.